Richard took more shit on, what was the Miserable Men show? Did you hear it?
I heard a little bit of it last night.
They were blasting you.
I know.
What do you do to people?
I don't know. I just asked about money the other night, and I guess they didn't say to me right there that they were upset because I would have talked it over with them.
Here, I'll play you some clips from the Miserable Men show. I don't know what page it's on.
Hey, page 1.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Far right.
Here's Shuli and Bob Levy pissed off at Richard.
It's at the point now where the three of us as a group are just pretty much done with it. We're like, we've had enough of it. And it's an issue more with Richard right now at this point. With, in my opinion, he's a guy who's new to comedy, and he hasn't gone through the ranks as most comedians have gone through, and he bitches and complains every step of the way about the gig, about the hotel, the money, who's paying for this, who's paying for that, and it's just they have, he has such a gift given to him comedy-wise for as long as he's been doing it, and the money he's making. I was 3 years into doing comedy. I was making $200 a week, and I had to move back in with my folks to make.
No, we all know that.
Right.
Everyone in this room knows that.
Right, and so this guy hasn't.
He's still living with his folks.
Paid his dues. Bottom line.
In the basement.
And he's sitting here bitching and moaning as if he's headlining the show, and it was. I mean, it got you going. You went to the pills as if it was like the Grey Goose sponsored.
I've been so for the whole month I've been very calm. You know what I mean? My life, I fucking lost it.
Yeah, Bob flipped out on me and Sal Saturday night.
What happened?
Oh, you didn't know he was upset though.
Well, I knew he was then, but Shuli said he was upset at me through the whole show. I wish he would have just said, "Hey, man, I'd rather you not talk about this with you because I like Shuli, I like Bob and those guys." But
let me play the rest. Here's their complaints.
Okay.
If you got money issues in comedy, you don't talk to the guy before the show. You wait till after the show to talk about it because it affects everybody's mood if you do it before the show. So Richard comes up to me. We did 2 shows in Connecticut. And he comes up to me and he says, I think I should be paid again for the second show because Bob never told me about the second show. And Bob's like, what are you talking about? You talked to him beforehand. You know there was a second show added on.
Yeah, I said we're doing the other show, and I go, this is what I can get you.
And you got paid for the second show. It was the check you got at the end of the night. That's how comedy works. It doesn't mean if you did 2 shows you get paid twice. Right. And then and so what does he say to you when you said there isn't going to be another check? You got what you got. He says, well, I got to pay taxes.
Yeah, you got to. And I said, you see that guy right there?
Well, he points at me and he points at Yucko.
I point to them. I point to fucking basically almost everyone else on the show, and I go, talk to those people that got to pay taxes that are making less than you.
Right.
Okay.
If he gets more money, he's got to pay more taxes.
Exactly.
Well, that's the other thing.
I go, I got to pay taxes. I go, what do you think I do with these fucking checks? I get fucking W-9 forms sent to me. Jim gets you got to pay taxes. How much is Howard paying you a week? I'm paying you more. Okay? Fucking give me a fucking break.
I know.
Give me a fucking break.
Well, why is he working with you?
Well, that's
These
the
guys
thing.
always amaze me.
Well, the thing is, I told
who
them
are
next.
you saying is wrong here?
Yeah. Bob and Shuli.
Really?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind.
How so?
Say what my
If,
grandson Rusty wants.
first of all, Shuli and Bob are saying, oh, he's so lucky. He didn't have to do $200 a week and move in with his parents. So fucking what? Who gives a shit? The guy, for some reason, is a draw. I don't know what he does in these clubs.
But wait a
They
minute.
seem to feel they need him.
Wait a
If they
minute,
don't
Howard.
need him, then don't put him on the bill.
What they are saying is that they arrange with Richard beforehand what his payment will be.
Then he's usually fine with that, but I guess there was some confusion about how many shows he was doing.
Well, what it was is Bob added a second show before he asked me if I wanted to do a second show on Friday night. And when I got paid for both shows, I just wondered why the second show I didn't get paid as much for than I did for the first show.
What was the answer?
There wasn't as big of a crowd, I guess.
So you're not allowed to ask that question?
That's all I did. I asked. To me, when I went out on stage, it looked like the second show was sold out too. Like we had the same amount of people both shows. So I thought, Well, then why didn't I get the same amount of money for the second show as I did the first? And I understand if there wasn't, if I didn't see the right amount of people on the audience.
I think you and Sal ought to branch off and start working with Artie.
Well, this
Artie won't work with him.
Oh no, not after Thursday. Everyone would pay triple to see that. If you guys would beat the shit out of each other. Are you kidding? I'm talking about big money.
You think they'd be good?
I'm talking about Nassau Coliseum.
It's like Van Halen getting back together.
Right. I'd go see that. I think I'd actually get motivated to go see that.
Oh my goodness!
I am doing a gig with Artie in December.
Are you?
In Cleveland. Yeah.
You're still doing that?
That's still going on.
As long as it's okay with Artie.
Is it all right with you, Art? I guess the internship.
No, I forgot about that.
I mean, I already bought my plane ticket, but I can get a credit. I mean.
You want to cancel that?
I mean, I don't want to work with the guy.
I'm really happy.
Thank you. That's fine. I mean, that's fine.
We still haven't heard how he popped the question.
I don't know.
I'll pay you for the gig. Just don't.
No, you don't even have to pay me.
Now you don't even have to show up.
Hey, that's a pretty good deal.
And Richard will still.
No, I'm not gonna take it.
If there's a second show, I'll get you.
No. I guess I'm not coming to Cleveland, people. Sorry.
Oh, you can go to Cleveland on your own.
They're excited. Yeah, they brought
go see the sights.
Go just see the people.
Go visit Jacobs Field.
But I don't want to argue with Bob and Shuli about that, because I told Bob next year, like a lot of it for me is me and Sal have to take off on Fridays sometimes to go do these shows.
Right.
It takes away from our work. I want it to be worth my time to be, because we're getting money taken away from us.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I'm not doing any shows.
By the way,
with
why do
them
they
next
bring
year.
into the argument what you make here? Here, listen to this.
I know working here at Sirius, he without a doubt makes more money than I do. I know that for a fact. If I had to live...
What's that got to do? Why is he looking in Richard's pocket?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That does not matter.
That just doesn't matter in any of this.
Only 3 glasses of champagne.
Off the money I'm making just for what I do for the news, I probably wouldn't be able to live in New York, And the comedy's a huge thing for me, but it's such a kick in the face to every comic who's gone through the ranks that this guy A is making more than you are, and B could give a shit about it, just wants the paycheck and that's it, and really isn't doing it because he wants to do it, And that to me, it put me in a really shitty mood the whole night.
Every time I went home.
Every time I looked at him, I was just getting more and more upset, and I didn't want to get into it with him, and I was just really pissed off because, you know what, we're all up there busting our ass. We've all come through the fucking ranks.
We're working as a team.
And Bob comes up to me backstage and says, look, I'm going to have to get you your money tomorrow. I said, fine, Bob, no problem. Bob's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Bob's not running off with my check.
I had to go through so many numbers, and I had to sit there. I got back to your hotel, Jim, at 3 in the morning after Friday night. And
I don't know why Shuli is involved with how much money Richard makes. And now the other argument is you have to like stand-up comedy and love it in order to go do it. Like, you mean I have to like doing this in order to do it? And you mean a football player? That's the other rap, too, with sports. Guys go, oh,
He's
man.
just here to get the check.
He's just here for a paycheck. Yeah. What the fuck else would you be getting your brains beaten in every day? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the paycheck. I'd be doing some other shit.
But it is more fun to watch people who love what they do.
No, Shuli loves it. And Bob Levy looks like the happiest comedian I've ever seen.
Oh, my God. Bob's so miserable all
no
the time.
shit. But you have to love it and be grateful.
And
what is this rap?
I don't know where he gets off saying I don't love it. I get up there and I love it. I love the crowds. I love doing comedy. I do
No, you don't love it. He says you don't.
You're just there for the paycheck.
See, that's
Shuli
bullshit.
says you're there for the paycheck.
That's bullshit. Me and Shuli go to Caroline's on Tuesdays quite a bit just to work on material, and I love just getting up there and doing it. I get as much pleasure going to Caroline's for free and doing comedy as I do traveling, but to make it worth traveling and worth taking some time off work, I want to get a little bit of money, but there's no argument, because if they don't want to pay it, fine, I just won't go.
The one thing I don't understand is this taking time off work. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't even know about that.
We work Fridays here. Me and Sal come in on
Who's giving
Fridays.
you the day off?
Well, we have to take a day off sometimes if we're traveling to California.
Why would I go for that?
I don't know. I mean,
It's crazy.
Yeah, did you ever tell Howard you're taking time off?
We always, we have a certain amount of days off during the year, and we always...
You use your day off.
Yeah, we use our day off. We're not taking days off like when the show's on.
You're all right.
But what I'm saying is we
You're
lose
getting beaten
money.
up enough.
Yeah, I just after
I
last
wanted to be clear on what was going on.
after last week,
No,
I'm
Shuli's
just not into arguing.
Yeah, well, Shuli's whole attitude is way off kilter. I understand he's bitter about some shit, but
well, Richard didn't have the $200 a night gigs and live in his family's home.
Yeah,
for a year.
And
When I
also Richard, you know what? But you know, Richard, whether Richard likes doing stand-up comedy or not is irrelevant, and what his salary is here is irrelevant.
What is relevant though is he good? Is he good?
Yeah, well, I mean, I get up there, I do good. I mean, I had applause breaks on Friday, and yeah.
People stop you when you're going?
People start clapping so loud he can't finish.
I mean, and Shuli even comes up to me and says I do good, but
Yeah.
All right.
know.
Well, there is the latest controversy. Richard not only
I can't believe you're such a troublemaker.
Richard not only mixing it up on our show with Artie and the whole Sal controversy, but then taking his hits on miserable men.
Well, all I got to say is I'm sorry if I upset them guys by just
Where is
asking
Shuli?
some
Is he
questions.
here?
What is
That's the thing too. Me and Sal have to wake up at 4 in the morning on the weekdays. That's why we don't. You know, if we're traveling to Seattle and got to come back the next day, that's why we want to get a little bit of money, because to make it worth, you know, being dead tired when we get back here.
What is the hotel deal with you? You always
Well, that's the thing too. We stayed at a fan's house Friday night. We're not always asking for great hotels.
great.
They stayed. Bob, Shuli, and everybody stayed at hotels Friday. Me and Sal slept at a fan's house.
And Sal has to sniff strange panties in the bathroom.
Well,
when
you're
the
still
kids
doing
are
that?
asleep.
You mean fans put you up for the night? Right.
He's a great friend of ours. this
So why
fan.
are they saying that you're bitching about hotels?
Well, because Saturday night there's a lot of hotels near the comedy club, but we ended up staying about 20 miles away from the club, which it didn't turn out to be a big problem. But I just asked, hey, why don't we stay near the comedy club? And I guess they got upset that I asked.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you should be running your own thing, and that way you'd have an answer to all these questions.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, next year, I just want to concentrate on getting more material and becoming better, because really, I haven't been doing it for a real long time. I'm not going to say I'm a great comedian, but I told them next year I want to just take off and do clubs in New York and get better at what I do.
So you're not even going to travel with them?
I don't think so, no.
You're going to work on your act.
Yeah.
Taking a year to become an accomplished stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
What, can you imagine the relaunch of Richard's stand-up career after a year?
I think then Artie's going to want to work with him. I think it's going to change. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. Those guys are my friends. I hate, that I upset them, and I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry.
Seems like they don't like you either.
I don't know.
You're losing friends by the day.
I get
here.
hey, me and Sal, we're best friends. We're working back there. We love this show. That's all that counts, I guess.
I guess.
Better be, because you don't have much else.
Yeah.
Artie, is it hard for you not to talk during these segments?
I don't want to take any jabs out.
No, I think no. Let's not.
Let's not go down those roads.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Richard should not talk behind people's back.
I don't, Artie. Jason apologized to me for that, and I'm not talking to Jason because of that.
Oh my God, we got
All hell has broken loose.
non-speakers.
That
So you
was
got to pick
total.
someone else to talk about me?
I don't talk behind people's back. I don't want to argue about
Let's
this
not
again.
get into it.
You know, what facts or what do you have to say that I talk behind your back? Just
You admitted
on
it.
Jason's word, I
You
did not
admitted
admit it.
Yes, you did. You said you talked to Jason about me, and did Jason make that
I
shit
never
up?
said I talked to Jason about you. I said I talked on the show about how I was upset with what you said at the roast. I never, ever talked
When did
behind your
that
back.
roast occur?
Artie's roast last June.
We're still back at June?
Yeah,
You're carrying around
Yeah, when I told
June crap?
when I told Jason on the wrap-up show, give an example of what I said behind Artie's back. He said, "Well, you were mad about what Artie talked about at his roast." And yeah, everybody knows I was mad about that. I talked about it on the air. I never talked about it behind Artie's back.
Artie, what do you think of that?
I don't believe him.
See, that's the thing. No matter what.
All right. Well, let's not.
There's no facts. if Jason can produce a tape that I talk behind your back...
Well, why would you be taping your personal
He's not going to take behind that conversation.
I swear, I'm swearing on everything, Artie, I do not talk behind your back. And it really pisses me off that you're taking Jason's word over mine when Jason already apologized for saying that.
Jason, do you want to clear this up so I can move on?
I regret revealing the private conversation between me and Richard as friends. I really do, but I didn't make it up. I mean, you were angry. I mean, and Artie.
When was this, Jason?
It was over the summer. It was a few months ago. I mean, dude, whatever.
And where did we have this conversation?
In your office.
And what was it about?
Dude, didn't we go over all
You're
this?
going to make him say it again.
Gee. Listen, dude, listen. People bitch about people that you work with. Whatever. It's a normal thing. Like, you know, we all work together side by side. Listen, I'm sorry it got to this point, and I'm sorry I revealed the private conversation we had. I feel really badly about it, but I didn't make it up.
But was what I said...
So you were apologizing for revealing a private conversation?
Yeah, I'm like, you know what, dude, you were just venting. It's you know, we all do it. Trust me. I mean, you know, you work with people every day. Sometimes people do stuff that pisses you off, and you vent.
If this did happen, then was what I talked about any different from anything I said on the air?
No, you agreed with everything I said that you said. I said on the wrap-up show what you said, and you said, yeah, I said all those things.
Okay, well, then Artie already knows that I said that stuff. I'm not going behind your back and, like, lying or saying anything about you. I was pissed about what you said at the roast. I said it on the air. Maybe I did have a conversation with Jason and said the same thing.
Look, don't worry. Look, as far as I'm concerned, you and Sal showed true colors to me last week that I'm not going to be able to forget. I just don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, all right, that's good. All right, let's
I don't go around talking about you.
We're done. We're done. You said it. You said it.
Now, Shuli is on the air to fight with you. Yes, Shuli.
Another guy hates you.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm with Richard on this one. Who cares what he makes here at the station? That you're bitching about what you make. So you're allowed to bitch about what you make here at the station and focus on what Richard's making. Secondly, who gives a shit if Richard likes stand-up comedy or not? So what if he hates it? What's that got to do with anything?
I stopped liking it 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
work with you, though.
Artie talks to me about it all the time. He hates it.
Sure, well, all comics, you know, essentially we all hate doing it after a while, but still, like, I got to work with the guy, and, you know, for example, we did a show in Canada a few months back, and he uses his cell phone in Canada to call, you know, his girlfriend and other people, and then at the end of the weekend, he wants to call the promoter to have him pay for his roaming charges on his cell phone from calling from Canada. It's like, you know what, nobody's asking.
I don't remember ever doing that.
Oh, come on, Richard. You know, you called me, you called Bob, you said...
I was texting people. I didn't even call anybody there, I don't think.
But you still ask for the promoter to pay for your roaming charges. Like, you got, you know... My point is this, like, we're all doing what we got to do to get this tour going, and, you know, right now the tour is losing money, and everybody's kind of eating a piece of this shit sandwich, and the only one walking around that's insulted by it is Richard, the guy who's been doing comedy for 3 years. And that's frustrating to other comics who've been doing it longer. That's my point.
Shuli, why is the tour losing money?
Because there's some shows that just didn't sell as much as we thought they did. And, you know, you got to pay money to rent these halls, Artie. You know that.
Oh, no, I know. I mean, you're taking it sounded like it was doing okay, though.
Right.
But the show,
Richard seemed to think that everybody was
hey,
making money.
the thing is, the shows I've been on have done great. We sold out Friday night. They did a bunch of shows.
So maybe when you don't show up, the tour doesn't do well.
Well, they did a lot of shows without me that I guess didn't make money, but they want me to suffer for that?
Yeah.
Not at all. Howard, you got to understand, this guy, this is his theory. He goes, the second show was sold out Friday night. I go, Richard, the second show wasn't sold out Friday night. There was empty seats in the audience. All he had to do was look, and he goes, well, there was a line around the corner. And I said, Richard, a line around the corner doesn't mean something sold out.
But Shuli, can I not just ask? Like I'm not bitching. I'm asking you. I'm like, hey, why didn't we make as much money as the second show? All I was doing was asking.
Richard, you did the same move you do with Gary. You came up to me, you looked me right in the eye, and you asked me, and I told you face to face. I said, Richard, it wasn't sold out. 5 minutes later, I see you standing over next to Yucko, telling him the same thing, going, wow, you know, the second show was sold out, right? And you slowly but surely worked your way through through the room asking each person the same thing to make sure somebody was on your side with it. You know,
he's like a cancer, in other words.
Yeah.
Oh, I see now.
He's turning the whole crew.
No, I'm not trying to turn anybody.
Maybe you got to learn to just ask, and then if once you get a reasonable explanation, just drop it.
Okay, maybe I am bad about like pressing an issue, but I mean, I'm sorry.
But do you really think they'd lie to you at this point in the tour?
No.
Well, then why not accept what they said?
I don't know. I don't remember going to Yucko after talking to Shuli.
Well, and also, Richard, you might want to do it after a show, not before we do a show, and it puts everybody in a shitty mood. You know, that's the other thing. Like, you know, there's always shows. You know, there's shows that I didn't get the money that I was promised, but you just got to take it and just go with it. You know, there's even how long you been doing comedy, Richard?
Like 2 or 3 years now.
Okay, so you know, the money you're making for doing this for 2 or 3 years is a gift that's fallen in your lap.
Yeah,
but Shuli, that's not his
bullshit.
problem. That I disagree.
What do you mean?
with.
If he can get
that's
that
not
money, he gets it. Yeah, I mean, that's just, what is this? You're so envious with this gift that he's being given.
And I appreciate it, too. I just sometimes I have some questions. Like, you know, Bob talks about all this money they spend on advertising. Maybe I'd like to know, okay, then how much are you spending on advertising? Maybe I'd like to know the breakdown just to see why we're getting the money we're getting. I'm just
But does a guy who's just on the bill deserve a breakdown?
Yeah, if it's that much of an issue for you, then why are you doing it? If there's this many questions and this many problems, why are you doing it?
There usually isn't an issue. I just wondered about that night because there was an extra show added on that I was put on without Bob asking me, so I was just curious why we didn't get as much money.
Look, these guys have a problem that'll never go away. They need each other.
Right.
Richard and Sal get the plugs on the show, but between the two of them, they can't do more than 15 minutes.
Right.
I did a longer set on Friday. Shuli even said I did longer than I usually do.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be able to guarantee you're going to do like a certain amount of time if you're going to headline.
I can guarantee you.
These guys can't get the plugs, but they can do it in 45 minutes. So now it's a power struggle of who needs who more.
Right.
Shuli, it's not Richard's problem that he got on the Stern Show and is able to get paid money for showing up. It's almost like an appearance, but you two are never going to find happy ground as long as you need each other. Should a person on the bill be asking for a breakdown? No, you're not the producer, and asking other people to get on your side, that would make me flip out.
Starting a strike.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, so
I'm not asking people to get on my side. I'm just asking people what what the money situation
and you're walking around seeing if other people are as disgruntled as you are fomenting like unrest.
Well, who's in charge? Bob?
Yeah.
Right. So Bob makes all the decisions?
Yeah.
So and Bob hires you?
Yeah.
So he works out ahead of time how much money you're going to get?
Well, he did on the first show, but not the second show.
In general.
In general, yeah.
He works out. So you know what you're going to get. What the fuck do you care afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was.
What do you care? Let's say he spends $10 million on advertising.
Well,
you're still going to get what you get.
It was this one instance where like usually when it's a door deal,
you just got to get that out of your head.
Okay, and the thing is,
or say no. Then say no, Bob. I need more money. That's not enough for me.
If it's a door deal, you do have a right to know. Well, why is he subtracting the advertising from the door?
That's usually when I ask the most questions, is if it's a door deal, because I'd like to know.
So you're not getting a door
all the time.
See, but you're not getting a door deal, Richard. They are. You're getting paid a predetermined amount of money.
No, the first show was. The second show depended on how many people were there.
No, but it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Information is just splurting out.
And that's the thing. I don't
but Shuli, you got to understand, it's not about, I know guys who could do 3 hours of stand-up and they're not a draw. I'll give you a real extreme example. If Howard agreed to show up and say hello to the crowd for 10 seconds, who's getting paid the most money?
Right.
It's not
absolutely.
Well, exactly. So it's not about that. It's about the fact that Richard is a celebrity from the show, and you have to respect that. And Richard and Sal have to respect the fact that, you and Bob could do an hour and a half on your own, and you got to somehow get into a happy ground.
Right. That's right.
That's my point. Like, we're all here doing this. And
the fact of the matter is Shuli and Bob can satisfy the crowd, but the crowd is showing up to get a look at Richard and Sal.
And the thing is, too, like, I didn't even know that Shuli made less money than me at these shows until he said it on Miserable Men. I think Shuli deserves as much as me, but I mean,
you better start running your own show, Richard.
Yeah, Richard, don't say that. Don't say that.
You are not producing anything. You don't know anything. You're saying this off the top of your head.
I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to fight with these guys. These guys are my friends. That's why next year
then why do you fight with them?
I'm not. You guys came in and played clips for me.
Well, the example Artie gave, do I have to do a second show, Robin?
Yes. Bob puts in a second show.
You're saying, Artie, all I got to do is say hello, and I'm going to get more.
I'm pretty sure you could get paid more than anyone there if you just showed up and said hello to the crowd.
But you do have to say hello to the second crowd, too.
If Bob Levy's listening, let's talk. I'll say hello.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be it.
Hello. Good night.
Exactly.
All right, thank you. All right, Shuli, up here, a couple of people want to say, get some stuff off their mind. Chuck, go ahead. You're on the air in Buffalo.
Hey, listen, Howard, thanks for taking my call. If I have to hear one more half-ass comedian talk about coming up through the ranks and wear it like it's some big fucking badge of honor, you know what? Every career has the same thing, and some people shoot to the top quicker, extenuating circumstances play into the game. Fuck all these guys. You know, a badge of honor. We did clubs. We've been doing it for 20 years, making $8. Well, get another fucking job. Quit whining, bitch.
All right, there you go, Mike. Go ahead. All right, Jessica Hahn, go ahead and say what you want to say.
All right, what was Shuli doing before this? I mean, didn't you just hire him to do the news?
I was doing comedy before this, Jessica. Stand-up comedy.
But you're putting the guy down. You and Levy, I've talked to Levy off the air. The guy, all you guys do is bitch about how you need to have a show. And I mean, why are you're this great comic now?
Well, maybe I'll just spread my pussy for Penthouse. Maybe I'll get paid for that.
Maybe you could, but you couldn't do as good as me, honey. Look, this is your problem.
I didn't know Shuli had a pussy.
Yeah, we're learning all kinds of things.
Yeah, well, you know, he's a cunt, so we all know that. All right, guys.
All right, thank you. All right, Paul, go ahead real quick.
Yeah. It just sounded like Artie was really pissed off. You don't hear him that pissed at people that much, and I don't know.
He is pissed off, and everyone seems to be pissed off these days.
Yeah. I missed the show on Thursday. It's great to get caught up. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
All right, there you go. That was not the show to miss.
Yeah, if you're going to miss one, Thursday was not the one.
That's right. All right, Shuli, thank you.
I'll see you guys in a minute.
All right, there you go, Richard. You go work that out.
Everybody's disgruntled.
Well,
Get
the
out of
thing
here.
is, there's an easy solution. I'm not doing shows with these guys next year. And
What about this year?
Oh, he's got commitment.
I got 2 more shows this year. I think I do have 1 show here in New York City with them next year, but I don't like arguing about money, and I don't like us fighting, so I'm going to make it easy and just not do any shows next year.
All right, fair enough. It seems like some answers have been gotten today.
Thank you.
Good luck, Richard.
Thanks.
With your stand-up, and let's hope you learn to enjoy stand-up as much as Shuli does.
I love it.
Let me ask you
Despite
something.
what he
When you
says.
were in those bands, did you have these kind of problems as well?
Once in a while, yeah, because we'd go to Europe or South America and not make much money. And It seemed like there were big crowds, but I didn't have I was just a drummer. I didn't really have a name then. You know, I mean,
I see.
As silly as it is, me and Sal do kind of have a little bit of a name from the show, so we can ask for it.
I think Howard's right. I think you and Sal should figure out a show, like something you could do together that would satisfy a live crowd. And I bet you could just split it 50-50.
Why don't you guys just get naked and blow each other?
I mean, maybe.
I guarantee you can make tons of fucking money doing that. It's a whole gay, and even some straight people would probably show up just to see what the fuck you're up to.
I mean, would you have a problem, Howard, with them doing some of those stunts live?
No.
Then I think you should do that.
What if they just come on each other?
They think of puppetry of the penis or something
All right,
like that.
now Sal's going to paint my face with his cock.
Well, I mean, you know, it
People
sounds
in the
funny,
front
but
row
Like
might want to sit back.
like a live sex show.
Well, I saw Steve-O live, and he just got up on stage and stapled himself and like lit his balls on fire. So you
There
never
you
know.
go. Maybe you could franchise that out. Talk to Steve-O, take some of his material.
do the fire ants on your nuts thing.
All right, Steve-O, this is where
You
Sal
could
and I
get
suck each
waxed
other's
on
cocks. So you
stage?
better not do that in your act.
This is where Sal and I lick each other's assholes.
Why I mean, you know what? Yeah.
Kiss in his bunghole.
And this is where I almost vomit.
In fact,
we'll
you know
open
what?
with guess what's in my pouch.
You know what? They have never gone so far as to actually have sex on this show, and that could be their live act.
Well, we're
we're
dedicated to the show. We would save that for this show.
But if you said that you're going to do an evening of guess what's in my pouch, where Sal just hides shit in his uncircumcised cock, and people get up to go on stage and squeeze it and figure out what it is and get prizes, I bet you guys could make some money doing that.
All right, we have 3 squirrels in the cage, and Sal's going to try and shove all 3 up my ass.
Yeah, maybe you could have the audience bring things to put in.
In your ass.
See, but then, Fred, you're going to get the squirrels wanting more money.
Squirrels didn't know there was a second show.
I like Robin's idea of the audience bringing shit to put in your ass.
Yeah. People showing up with sinks.
Put something in our ass.
Yes, TJ. TJ,
Alex.
yes.
Howard, I got a big question. Why do all these guys want so bad to be stand-up comedians? I mean, I can't understand it.
It is a miserable life.
I mean, why don't they just stick to what they know? I mean, Richard is hysterical with his calls. I mean, I'm telling you.
Well, they're looking to make extra money, and, there is a good opportunity to get out and meet the fans.
Which is wonderful. I'm sure the fans really appreciate that.
You want to know something, Howard? I mean, not for nothing. I mean, it's to the point where now everybody is unhappy with everybody. Who's not happy with what they're making? Who's not this? Who's not that? Everyone should just shut up and stick with what they know.
Well, Tim Sabian did come to me. He is the program manager here, and he said, I'm really afraid that we're going to all start feeding on ourselves for the next couple of years. He made some, Tim talks real fast.
Right.
He goes, well, we're all, 2 years into this, he goes, and I just want to make sure that we don't just all turn on one another, and he was getting nervous.
Is he thinking that he needs
man,
to
we
have,
can solve them by man.
We need to have like some kind of group therapy session?
No.
I know I'm in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because I have very ill feelings towards a couple of people that I thought would go away over the weekend, and they haven't. And it's scary.
I explained to Tim that we've been turning on each other for 25 years.
See, we've
that's
gotten
crucial.
used to it. We go around like a revolving door here.
Honestly, I was getting a little annoyed with the show that everyone was getting along.
This is some sort of great human experiment that could go awry.
Oh yes, no, but you're right. No, listen, I agree that we do have to put a damper. We have to throw some water on this very hot situation.
I mean, look at a guy like Jason, who was sort of a passive, sort of nicer guy, probably. When he, the other day on the wrap-up show, when he was telling me Richard talked behind my back, the look of glee he had.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
He was happy.
Well, he was on the mic. He had something to say. Someone was paying attention to him.
He was a major player.
And he created a rift between me and Artie now that Artie's probably never going to forgive me.
But what he did say was the truth.
I hope Jason's happy with himself for doing that.
There's too many damn shows on this channel. It used
Well,
to be
that's
just
the
our
problem.
show.
It goes on and on and on and on all day.
Hey, Artie, what did you do? Did you color your hair over the weekend or something?
No, he shaved.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
An extreme shave.
Thought Artie went berserk.
I hope I don't accidentally color my hair.
Dominic, you're on the air.
Well, every dysfunctional family has ups and downs, but when I was watching the show this weekend, Artie, your anger was real. And
oh, yes.
I want to know how many times in the last 10 years you got that angry?
That angry? I mean, I really saw red there. Not many, maybe 2 or 3 times. I don't know.
And can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And maybe no one will agree with me, but from the roast, when Sal said some of the things which I thought were over the line, and I know the roast, you can say anything, but Sal said a lot of things like about your sister, some things about other people on the show which were really deep and hurting. Even, Beth, I guess she's a target, but, the horse jokes weren't funny. Did you carry any anger from them?
I got to tell you, no, just because I know what you're saying. The sister thing hurt because it's dragging somebody into it that, is not
an innocent bystander.
The same way Howard might have been perturbed about the Beth thing, I was perturbed about this. I was mad for her, and my sister was mad.
And
absolutely was mad. But you know what? Look, you can't sit here and watch what I did to him during that emotional friend segment. And I mean, everybody gets it in the end, But what triggered it for me the other day was, to me, I saw the real Sal, and that anger, like that shit was, I mean, people are coming in. I must really aggravate people here, too, because people are coming in here with research stats on what Beer League did. I mean, this is a prepared statement. And Sal said some things that I will never get out of my head the other day. And I just realized that combined with the saying it behind my back and starting something on the wrap-up show the other day, all of that together really got me boiling to where, you know what, I don't want to be around these people right now. I'm kind of creeped out by it.
Robin and Howard, do you think if Sal's wife got some of what Artie got, it'd be pretty scary?
Well, I don't know what you're saying.
The anger. That when he really got going, Sal, that man was gone.
Well, that's pent up. That's pent up with his wife. That's I'm afraid when he blows, that might be a real problem.
But that's exactly what I said. Even the Keith Abelow segment was exactly that. We had gotten to a point where there seemed to be some progress being made, and then Sal dropped right back into his low gear and slayed everybody in the room.
When Sal says the shit, you bring up whatever. You bring up the Beth thing, my sister thing, you bring up stuff about my father. To me, that's like, okay, that just means the gloves are off. So, you know, when you get a chance on this show to get you back, like when I roast him or the emotional friend thing, I really don't give a fuck with Sal. Other people you might lay back, but with him I don't care.
Bit, yeah.
And finally that came to a complete head. You know?
But I can't picture you wishing someone's kids AIDS if you're not so deeply hurt by what he said.
By the way,
that was a joke. That was a joke.
Since Artie prayed for AIDS for Sal's kids, the incidence of AIDS in children has gone way up.
But Sal's kids are fine, so it's got scattershot.
That's true. Yeah,
it's like a drive-by shooting.
Well, they did a study. I was once on the air, and I wished cancer on several people.
Arsenio Hall, I believe.
And according to the Onion newspaper, this affected the amount of cancer deaths in the United States.
I do believe, though, that you're a little bit more accurate. The actual people got the cancer.
Yes. They're saying that my prayer to Jesus actually worked. So there you go.
Do you think the great experiment is now out of control?
Well, things are a little heated, I will say. But, you know, you never know how things are going to turn in relationships with people. And you just hope that things will eventually calm down. And as Artie says right now, he can't get past it, but maybe he will. And Richard and Sal will maybe come to some understandings as well. So there you go.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dominic.
Do you feel bad in all this?
Yes, I don't like people to be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I really don't. I don't want people to be uncomfortable at work. I like all these guys. I love them all, and everyone's doing a great job. You see, the odd thing is here, I love everybody here, and I love the job they do. Mm-hmm. I never have a problem with their work. Mm-hmm. What always ends up exploding is everybody gets into things on the side. If I could cage everyone and just keep them apart.
Just keep them in their little cubicle.
Everyone's against being put in a cage. You're against being put in a cage. I'm against being put in a cage. It's too bad.
Everybody rebels at the cage.
Everyone rebels at the cage.
Except Fred.
Oh, Fred's in a cage daily.
Benji seems to get along with everybody, too.
Benji is like no one pays attention to Benji.
Because Benji just accepts a pile of shit thrown out.
Right. No matter what you say about Benji, he'll walk up the next day and go, do you think I should get more money? All right, thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
All right, good luck with you and Artie and Sal and that whole thing. It might just be a day.
Good luck with you and the Killers of Comedy. Seems like you have problems all over the place.
I'm sure time heals everything.
Well, not everything.
Well, hopefully most things.
All right. In your case, it might not. All right, thank you.
Richard, what's happened, man?
It's going wacky around here.
Yeah, you went from such a likable guy. See?
Move it down the hallway.
See, if I was talking...
No, because you guys have this habit of doing this right in the middle where everybody has to walk. Could you just move it down the hallway?
Oh, you mean like I try to get like a natural reaction from the guy leaving the studio?
That's fine, that's no problem.
Okay,
but can't
you make it a little less Okay, I got it.
Ronnie hates you now, Greg.
So, things have really changed.
Don't act like an idiot about this to me, okay? Because it's not funny.
What?
Don't say I hate you. This is great because his words in my mouth.
Less's idea is to do that.
You're being an idiot. Yeah, well, you see what your joking got you.
Jeez.
Dude, you're making powerful enemy after powerful enemy.
Me and Sal had it right, like when for 2 weeks we locked ourselves in our studio, didn't talk to anybody, just went and did our work. That's what we got to do. We just got to come in at 6, or we come in at 5 in the morning, lock our studio, unlock it at noon to get lunch, and lock it again at 12:30 to go back to work.
You're going to be like two little drones, just doing what you have to do.
I guess that's why you can't really talk to anybody anymore. Everything pisses everybody off. Everybody talks about everybody. It's tough.
But in many ways, do you feel like you and Sal sort of started it? You know, it was your initial complaints on the wrap-up show that sort of sparked everything to begin with?
Well, maybe it was, but that's why we locked ourselves in our room and didn't complain for so long. And I even said on the wrap-up show one day, I said, the best thing to do is just not complain. Because when you start whining, that's when everything, like, all hell breaks loose. Right. So it's best to just pent it up and just try and drink. That's the best thing to do. All right. Drown your sorrows in alcohol. I hate to say that because it's not a very good advice, but for years and years, I've drowned myself in beer, and it seems to work. Until now, maybe I'm not drinking enough. I don't know.
So hold in all of your feelings and emotions and get blacked out.
Exactly.
Hold
in your feelings.
I like it.
Don't talk to anybody about your feelings. Drink, watch horror movies, listen to heavy metal, play drums, get your frustrations out that way. That's what I do, and that's what I got to get back to doing rather than talking to people.
Now, what about this whole comedy beef? Do you really even care anymore?
It's not an issue because I'm not doing shows with them guys after this year, so it's no big deal. I mean, what are you going to do? If they're upset with me, then I'll make it easier and just not do shows with them.
Now, getting back
I'm sorry, I don't hate them guys, but they're my friends. So if they're upset with me asking about money and asking about hotel rooms, then it's easy. I'm not going to do shows anymore.
Richard's full of shit. I'm only kidding.
Would you guys do
Great
shows
guy.
together?
I thought you were a friend.
Would you go out on your own?
Boyfriend. What?
Would you go out on your own?
I have no desire to go out on my own. Now, I love doing what we're doing. Richard loves it too. There's just always these differences. It's a communication issue, and I hope it works out because everybody, like Richard said, we all love each other, But you have an issue and it blows up, and hopefully we'll get to it'll be resolved. We all love working together. Now,
Richard, getting back to your issue with Jason, if Artie in turn forgives you at some point down the road, will you then forgive Jason?
Well, I mean, I'll forgive him, yeah, of course, but you just got to watch what you say from now on. That's the thing. You never know who's going to turn on you and who you can talk to about stuff. And the things that I talked with him about, he never said a time, but it was probably right after that roast, and I was probably pissed off. But, I don't know. What are you going to do? You just got to be careful who you talk to around here.
You can always talk to me, Richard.
Thank you.
I'm always here for you.
Thanks, Greggy.
All right. You're looking at me weird now. I meant that in a friendship type
I'm
of way.
undressing you with my eyes.
Shuli, are you bummed at all that this rift between the Killers of Comedy and Richard has occurred?
No, I don't think it's just. I think it was a combination of a lot of things, and I don't know. I think we're all just getting tired of doing these shows, maybe, and we're all, with anything, like if you work with people, eventually they get on your nerves, and there was some shit that went down this weekend that I didn't necessarily agree with, and my opinion is, look, it could be a lot worse. As bad as you think it is, it could be a lot worse, and if you've gone through this business and put in the time, then you would know that, and he doesn't, so he bitches about little things like wanting to stay at a nicer hotel. When there's 9 people on the show, we can't afford to stay in a place that's $300 a room. Right. So, and he has ways of asking these questions where it puts people on the defensive, and he plays this, well, I didn't know, and it's like, you know what you're doing. So it pissed me off, and I wanted to say something.
Now, what does this mean in terms of your relationship with Richard? I mean, there's been some breakups, so to speak, between Sal and Richard with Artie. There's been some terrible things in the last week or so.
Yeah, I mean, I can work with the guy. It's just like, look, are you here for just a paycheck, or are you here because you enjoy doing it? Like, I've been told both by him. So my question is, look, if you're just here for a paycheck, then don't ask me to help you with your comedy, and don't ask me to bring you to comedy clubs during the week and work on material. If you are into comedy, then quit your bitching and enjoy doing comedy for thousands of people every weekend, because there's very few comics that get the opportunity to do that. There's comics on the street every day of the week that are barking for their audience to come in and watch them. They got to sit there and haul people off the street for a chance to get up on stage. So that was my point, you know. As bad as you think it is, it could always be worse.
And the reason why he's unaware of that is because he hasn't come up the traditional way.
Right, absolutely. Like you're a producer at Howard TV. Now, if there was a guy who came into the industry and was only there for a couple years and did your job but really didn't give a shit about it like you do and was making more money than you, that would upset you.
I would crush him.
Thank you. That's why I got this. Work. This is my problem with Asians. They don't know how to make good fucking marshmallow dough.
So make this about the Asians, Shuli.
All right, let's go. Come on. That's why you always have a backup.
Well, we get the point.
No, you don't. You're going to get it now, Carmel.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
None of these work. I just like pumping at work.
You're scaring me, sir.
Yeah?
This is the side of you I've never seen before.
It's gonna be. This is going to be an hour special by the time I'm done.
I'm going to slowly...
I really hope there's a marshmallow in here.
I'm going to slowly back up.
Yeah? I can hit you at 30 feet.
Uh-oh, this newsroom has suddenly gotten very scary.
Carmel, you're going down.